I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights the dark so that you can know your left from your right. I am the ballad in your box, the bullet in the gun, the inner glow that let you know to call your brother son. The story that just begun, the promise of what's to come. And I'ma remain a soldier till the war is won.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to yet another video. We are back once again with yet another Janet Jackson review, you feel me? And that's part 3 of the Janet Jackson documentary. And it's time to get into it, you feel me? So, in the last part, we went through many different topics, such as Janet Jackson and the secret baby rumors, you feel me? Janet Jackson feeling like Michael was changing after Thriller. Janet Jackson getting control of her life. You know what I'm saying? Janet Jackson and Renee getting married. Janet Jackson making new music, you feel me? Getting on tour. Michael Jackson shadow, you feel me? Trying to break out of that, you feel me? We saw a lot of that in the last part of the documentary, and it was very insightful, very interesting. I've always said that I do kind of want more of the music kind of like, you know, brought into light a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I would love to hear about more of Janet's music writing process too, you feel me? If, you know what I'm saying, if she was going that direction. But you know what I'm saying, I'm still thankful for what we got. So now let's talk about part 3, shall we? Okay, so Janet Jackson gets a Hollywood Walk of Fame star in 1990, you feel me? And that was such a big deal at the time. Really such a big deal. I mean, she's really out here made a name for herself, you know what I'm saying? And she got her own Walk of Fame star, bro. Her own Walk of Fame star. And I think, right, that really solidified her as like, yeah, I'm not Michael's little sister. I'm my own person. You feel me? Like, which is what she was trying to break out of anyway. But I digress. That was amazing. You saw a lot of people there too. You feel me? She had her own little Rhythm Nation outfit on. That was sweet. That was really sweet to see. Janet Jackson signs, you know, to a new label. You feel me? She's finally free to kind of make a lot more decisions that she can. You feel me? I forgot what records it was. Was it Virgin Records that she signed to? I think that's what the records that she ended up going to, that ended up letting her have a lot more freedom in what she wanted to do. We also talked about, well, in the documentary, she also talked about poetic justice. Yeah, we finally get to see her speak on poetic justice a lot, you know what I'm saying? We finally get to speak about her, you know, breaking out as an actress, even, you know, in like a, you know, a feature film, you know what I'm saying? We get to see that in her relationship with Tupac, you feel me? Regina King spoke on it, you know what I'm saying? She's in the documentary, and it was Janet and Tupac's chemistry. She said, yeah, you know, Janet might not admit this, but they definitely had some chemistry. Yeah, and we see Tupac in the documentary, you know what I'm saying? God rest his soul. We didn't get any of the rumors that was spread around that time about Janet and Tupac. For example, Janet apparently, which is not true, by the way, Janet wanted Tupac to have a STD test or AIDS test, you know, something like that, as STD test. Or Tupac tried to call Janet, but Janet changed her number. Something like that, you feel me? I'm surprised Janet didn't really address that. You know what I'm saying? I'm also shocked that Janet never addressed the Bobby Brown rumors. Because Bobby Brown put out a nice little allegation on Janet saying that he kicked Janet out his hotel room. Janet hasn't said nothing about that, but, you know. Yeah, there are certain things in the documentary that I'm like, dang, I'm shocked that we didn't hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't hear a lot of LaToya. But, you know what I'm saying? Well, let me continue on with part 3. We see Renee directing Janet's music video. And Janet actually said at the time that she's only really comfortable with Renee when it comes to directing things. She was always only comfortable with Renee. And we see him directing the Come Back to Me music video. And you could tell that she was very comfortable with Renee, you feel me? And the male model that was with Janet, that was kissing over Janet and all over Janet, was asking Janet, like, yo, do you have a boyfriend? She was like, yeah. And the model was like, do you feel comfortable with me doing all this? Does he feel comfortable with doing all this to you? And she was like, yeah, he's the one who's telling us what to do. And yeah, Renee was very comfortable with seeing Janet with other, men on screen. And they just had that kind of connection that it's like, it doesn't matter, I guess. And Janet was never really comfortable with any other director but Renee. So yeah, that was something. Then we get cut to Janet Jackson's topless cover. And remember how I said that this cover was very kind of controversial and it kind of stirred up a little pot, you feel me, back in the day? When I was reviewing the album that this cover was for, yeah, it did. Yeah, people were talking about it like crazy. People were like, whose hands were those? You know what I'm saying? Samuel L. Jackson was like, oh, where was I at? I could have done the hands. Yeah, the topless cover was kind of crazy. Her family did not approve of it, you know what I'm saying? Janet, she said, you know what I'm saying, that we weren't really brought up like that, you know what I'm saying? And Reby was like, nah, I wouldn't do that. And yeah, the family, yeah, wasn't really big fans of it. But Janet, you know what I'm saying? She said it's just her creativity, it's just what she just came up with, you know what I'm saying? And that was that. We cut to Janet Jackson ends up bringing people on stage for shows, you know what I'm saying, for the kind of little teasing, you know what I'm saying? We all know what that's about. Janet Jackson will bring up people on stage during shows. We've been seeing it for years, and she started that in the 90s, and it was crazy. We saw Shaquille O'Neal up there, bro. Shaq was getting it on, bro. Shaq was getting it on. But yeah, she would do that, and yeah, we kind of see her kind of get the little sensuous side of her around this time, and it was a change. Definitely was. Coca-Cola gets stepped into the documentary, and they start to make a deal with Janet Jackson after Pepsi used to sponsor the Jacksons, like Michael and all them. Yeah, and Janet was like, just on their radar, I guess, since Pepsi sponsored Michael. So I guess they kind of had like a little sibling rivalry, I guess, when it comes to sodas. Like, for example, it would be like, say if Walmart sponsored Michael, Target would sponsor Janet, or Burger King sponsored Michael, then McDonald's would sponsor, something like that. That's how it kind of felt like. But the Coca-Cola deal never even comes through because Michael gets accused for the first time of sexual misconduct with children. Janet defends Michael to this day and never really believes the allegations at all, and never believes that he did anything, and so do I. But she still lost a lot of deals because of the allegations, you feel me? Just because she was a Jackson at the end of the day. Michael ends up settling the first allegation, and I could really go on a whole rabbit hole about that settlement and how it was BS. But Janet believes that he shouldn't have never done it. You feel me? But Janet still never believes the allegations, even to this day. But because of that, Janet did lose deals and da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Janet goes on tour, which I believe is the Janet tour, I believe. She gets off tour. She's done. And after she was done with the entire tour, Michael actually wants to make a song with Janet. And you guys know where this is going. And the song ended up being Scream. Scream. I love Scream. I love the song. And it really kind of, you could tell Michael really wanted to make a song like this. A song showing his frustration and anger with how the media portrayed him throughout the allegations, never really gave him a fair shot. Just kind of played him for a fool, made jokes, played him to be evil and a monster and all that, and basically just threw dirt in his face, basically. And this song was supposed to kind of, and which it did, throw mud back at the media in a way. And Janet and Michael, we see them both writing Scream together, and they're both writing their parts down, and we could really see how the way they constructed the song, and we get to see some old footage, some rare footage of Michael, you know what I'm saying, which I thought was great. We get to see the writing process, and I wish we could see even more of that. Like, where's that at? I hope Janet can release that entire piece of footage, like Michael and Janet just working together. That would be lit to see. But Janet, you know what I'm saying, the whole time just wants to give nothing but support to her brother. You feel me? The whole family was giving support to him at the time, except for LaToya, but we haven't seen none of LaToya in this documentary, probably for a reason. And, the family just wants Michael to know that we got your back. You feel me? Throughout this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So we cut to him and Janet writing the song, you know what I'm saying? And Michael actually goes into the studio with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lee Lewis to, record the song, and he blows every one of them away. They're fangirling out in the studio, oh my goodness, this is Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So he's recording the song, and then when he's done, he's like, how was that? And they were like, bro, what? What are you talking? That was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael was doing it all. You know what I'm saying? In the studio. And he goes out full performance mode in that studio. And yeah, he killed it. You know what I'm saying? We know how that song ended up being. Ended up being great. And Janet did great too, you know what I'm saying? And we get a reference to Black Cat. Michael wanted Janet to kind of sing like how she was doing in Black Cat. Y'all know the song Black Cat? Black Cat was great. A great rock song by Janet Jackson. I didn't like it at first for a while, but then it grew on me like crazy, and I really enjoyed it. So we cut to the music video and how the music video is doing. The music video, actually, this music video was, the most expensive music video ever created. And it wasn't supposed to be that. It was supposed to be shot for a few days, but it ended up not being shot for a few days. I forgot the reason, but it just wasn't. Michael would shoot mornings and Janet would shoot nights, I believe. Yeah, the video, Janet would, for the separate takes. It was actually revealed that Michael Jackson's recording company actually blocked off Janet's side, so they couldn't really see each other, which is very strange. Doesn't make any sense. They're on the same project. They're brother and sister. I don't know why did MJ's record company do that, and I don't know why Michael even listened to them. I don't know what. Michael had horrible people around him. Very horrible people around him. Janet felt like that they kind of made it a competition on set. They kind of made it oh, Michael's better than Janet. You know what I'm saying? Or Janet's better than Michael. That's what I guess the recording companies will kind of do. And that's stupid. I don't know why was that even necessary. Janet felt like it was going to be like old times, working with their brothers. But it wasn't. It was something completely different. The bigger Michael got, the more kind of separated he was kind of towards the family. You could tell he loved his family, but he was around the wrong people, bro. Really. Yeah, and he felt like that. Yeah, and like I said, yeah, she felt like that people had control over MJ, a lot of control, and separated him from his family. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, she was very disappointed in how the way the recording for Scream ended up being, you know what I'm saying? But we all know how the music video was lit. It was great. That was a beautiful music video. But yeah. We got to a trip to Hawaii. Janet goes on Janet goes on a nice trip to Hawaii with her and some friends, and of course Renee. Um, but you know what I'm saying. Let me kind of go a little bit deeper. People tend to notice Renee's change. You feel me? One of Janet Jackson's friends were kind of getting annoyed by Renee because Renee was kind of getting a little bit annoying with the camera. I mean, that camera was just kind of shoved in everybody's face a little bit. She would also kind of call out Renee like, Renee, don't record my mother. You feel me? Like Renee was kind of getting a little too comfortable with that camera around all the time, or kind of start recording everything. You feel me? Like a YouTuber nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Like they will record everything, and people kind of notice Renee's changed a little bit. Renee also wasn't on the Velvet Rope tour with Janet, and that wasn't normal considering how close they were. People were like, yo, where's Renee? You know what I'm saying? Because Renee was with Janet when it comes to everything, it seemed like. Tours, shows, you know, music videos. Like, they were just like this, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't with Janet on the Velvet Rope tour, you feel me? When, you know, they were auditioning dancers for the tour, Renee was not there, and some people were confused. Renee was also starting to be more critical on Janet Jackson's looks. You feel me? When it comes to her weight, and Janet was always insecure about her weight growing up. Always, you know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson, it was brought up that Michael Jackson used to joke about Janet Jackson's weight when they were kids, and you know, y'all know the story that was brought up a few weeks ago, saying that Michael used to call Janet Slaughterhog, pig, and all that when they were, you know what I'm saying, when they were kids. Basically, kind of throwing Michael even more like rocks from beyond the grave. But you know, when they were kids, you know what I'm saying, Janet was like, you know, that when we were kids, you know what I'm saying. Sibling used to joke around all the time, but she didn't really like them at all. Of course, she kind of, you know, took them to the heart a little bit. Like, Michael's family used to bully Michael for his looks too. You know what I'm saying? He took him to the heart, clearly. And we saw how that turned out. You know, so I guess it was kind of a hurt people kind of thing. And so, yeah, so when Renee started being more critical on Janet's weight, you know, of course it took a toll on her. Because Janet was always insecure about her weight. You know, growing up when she was on Good Times, we said this before, Janet's, you know, breasts were growing at a very younger age, and they tried to do everything they could to kind of hide it. Janet kind of gained weight a little bit from birth control pills, and we all kind of saw it, and she was very insecure about that. So, you know, when Renee started doing that, you already know how that turned out. Yeah, Janet eventually gets a divorce from Renee, and yeah, that was that. You know, Renee wanted his half, Janet got hers, and they got each other's stuff, you know, and that was that, right? Which is kind of sad, though, because I thought in the beginning when we started seeing footage of them from back in the day, they seemed like they were so in love. You know, Janet wanted it to last forever, but as we can tell, it unfortunately didn't. So we head to 2000. You know what I'm saying? Janet feels better than ever. She feels a lot of sunshine. We could tell within the documentary, we could just see, you know what I'm saying? We could really kind of see like how happy she is and how she was glowing in the end of part 3. She was glowing, bro. Like, look, she it's like after the divorce, she didn't want nobody to really kind of, you know, she didn't want to show anybody if she was feeling down from it or not. She wants to show everybody the happiness, the happy Janet, you feel me? The happiness, the glow, the joy that, like, bro, we got divorced. That's fine, you feel me? I'm happier than ever. I'm ready back to get into the game. And we see her in the All For You era when that album was dropping. We see her at her highest. It seemed like she seemed so happy. And yeah, she didn't want nobody to feel sorry for her. she wanted to show the world that she's happy and she's back and she's better than ever. Yeah. And in the end of the documentary, we cut to Jermaine Dupri. And Janet starts to date Jermaine Dupri. And that was the end of the documentary. Well, no, this part of the documentary. So, yeah, this was a lot, actually. This was really a lot. Yeah. I had no idea about a lot of this stuff. Actually, most of it, you feel me? Like, I didn't know that Michael Jackson's record company really blocked off Janet's side so she couldn't see him while they were shooting Scream. That's very sus to me. I mean, like, really, no, like, what? What? Renee, I really hope that Renee and Janet kind of made up. I really do. I kind of hope so, because they seem like they were in love so much. I hope they made up, no hard feelings, you feel me, like, after that, because, bro, they were a great couple, in my opinion. Like, they were great. From what I've seen, you feel me? But it's a shame how all that love kind of just went down the drain, it seemed like. But yeah, that was lit. That was great. That was a great part to the documentary. I can't wait to review this fourth one, because the fourth one I know has a lot of stuff in it, with Michael's passing and the Super Bowl and Michael's trial. Yeah, we got a lot coming up. So yeah, hope y'all stay tuned. Yeah, there were certain things that I'm like, dang, like, Janet, where's this other stuff too that I wish she could have spoke about, but she didn't. Like, I know during recording the Velvet Rope, Janet had a mental breakdown. You feel me? I know it's up to her to really speak on it if she wants to or not. But, like, dang, that would have been very interesting to hear about what happened. Because from my knowledge, I remember in the Velvet Rope reading about it while recording the album. She actually took like a 2-month break. Because she had a mental breakdown. There was so much stuff going on. And I don't really believe she spoke about that in the documentary. But, that's something very personal. You feel me? I understand that she wouldn't want to speak on it. And, yeah, because the Velvet Rope was actually a very private, very deep kind of album. Very deep kind of album. One of her most personal ones yet. I kind of wish we kind of got more the writing for the Velvet Rope. But if not, we didn't. So it's fine. So, what did y'all think of part 3? Did y'all enjoy it? Did y'all kind of not like it? Whatever. I enjoyed it. And we're going to get to the last part, and that is part 4 of the documentary. And yeah, I hope you guys will enjoy that. And yeah.